Welcome to the Real Female Entrepreneurs. Today's guest doesn't just list homes, she positions them. She is a 5-time Diamond Elite producer. So hold on and get ready for what she has to say. Plus, a powerhouse team lead. She blends aggressive marketing with white glove service to deliver results that move. Fiercely dedicated, deeply relational, and community rooted, she makes buying and selling feel informed, empowered, and first class from start to finish. Please help me welcome the amazing Megan Jernigan, team lead of the Jernigan Group. Welcome, Megan.
Thanks for having me, Angel. Good to see you this morning.
Nice seeing you. So, real estate, what made you decide to actually get into real estate?
I graduated college with a public relations degree and always knew I wanted to work at a firm and, represent. Like, I just liked the flashiness of public relations when you're 18, right? That's what you want to do. And so I graduated. I had a couple of really great corporate jobs and just kept feeling like I had to ask permission to be more efficient, or I had to ask more permission to save the company money or something like that. It just, how the corporate world is, you got to push it up the chain. And so I just kind of thought, if there's something that I could do that I could quickly pivot into efficiencies or, just create something of my own, that I would love to do that. So I had a mentor that was a realtor. And he just kept saying, Megan, you need to get into real estate. And I was terrified because I was single. I was 30, but I didn't have a husband. So I didn't have another stream of income. And I was like, no, real estate is 100% commission. A lot of people don't know that. They think that like we're salary or something like that. But it's like, if you kill what you eat. And so I was like, oh, that's a lot of risk I can't afford to take. I don't have a backup plan. But I think that helped me to not have a backup plan, because I was like, I either go out there or I can't pay my bills, So that's kind of my backstory of how I got into real estate 12 years ago.
So getting into real estate, what have you learned? What has happened,
So I have learned that nothing is as it seems, right? Especially with Netflix and selling sunset, and you own a company. Nothing is like it seems. And so I know that to the general public, it looks like we walk around with champagne all day and we just look at these fancy houses, and that we wear these fancy clothes and drive these fancy cars. And that might be some agents in LA and New York, but that is not how we are in Nashville, Tennessee. And so it is really a lot of strategy. And when I got my license, you have to go take all these courses and all whatever. And they're like, this is what you need to know. And when I graduated and got my license, and I was like, oh, that y'all didn't tell me one thing I needed to know, because I really needed to go to business school and learn how to run a company, right? Because it really is every day, you have to prospect, I'm a CEO, I have employees, I have interns, like there's just so much to do outside of just scheduling an appointment and showing a buyer a house. So that is one thing that surprised me about joining this industry.
So a lot of entrepreneurs don't have employers. Okay. So
Right.
if you don't mind touching on the fact that you have employees, because some of them are going to grow to have employers
Yes.
and employees.
Yes.
And so if you could expand on that for us, I would really appreciate that.
Yeah. So there's always the part of our job that we love and the part that is income producing. And then there's all the admin and all the regulatory and everything that happens on the computer, right? And we're so grateful for the government for putting all of our regulations in place. But there's just a lot of admin. And so knowing that you can get bogged down by all of the admin, and it just takes so much of your time that you could be going to get new clients or taking care of your current ones or just doing what I call income producing tasks. That is when I knew I needed to hire and level up a little bit. And that really, it gets scary for a lot of people. A lot of people that I mentor, or a lot of other small companies that call me and say, how did you get to these numbers really quickly and this volume really quickly? And how do you work and all of this? Like, we would love to function like that. And I say, you have to hire. And they say, that is really terrifying. And I completely understand and agree with you. That is knowing that you are responsible for everyone's livelihood and paycheck, and that you have to pay everyone first, and then you take home what you take home, that can be very overwhelming to think about. So I just choose not to think about it. I just do it. I just am like, oh, it'll get paid. We'll figure it out. But I get that. But, if you don't have, I always say, like, even just 40 hours a week, that's 2,080 hours you get back every year to go make more money, to go get more clients, to do more like income producing activities, versus just being bogged down by the daily admin.
Can you talk also about the differentiation between a contract worker and also hiring an
Yes.
employee?
Yes. And contract workers can be your first step in. And if that makes you feel, it decreases your anxiety, and I do have some contract workers. I have contract workers, I have full-time employees, I have interns. The contract workers are kind of like, you pay them based on the work they do. You can't tell them when to show up. You can't tell them when to work. There's certain federal guidelines for a 1099 contract worker. And you just kind of have to trust that they're getting their job done. They, of course, have deliverables and dates and things like that, but you can't say you have to be in the office at this time to this time. You can't give them any parameters. You can only give them tasks. So I have a couple contract employees, but full-time employee and contract employees, the reason it feels, we're diving so deep today, Angel. The reason it feels less overwhelming is because you also don't pay taxes on those people. So when they're 1099, there is a 7.5% federal tax that they pay for themselves, right? So as an employer, for my employees, I pay that for my employees. So, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't have a great benefits package. And I'm like, okay, well, let's talk about that. What do you have? I'm like, well, I get paid $100,000 and I get this much for healthcare. And I'm like, okay, well, that's really $107,000 to your employer, because they're paying these taxes for you. And, they're paying the other side of your 401k because they legally have to, they have to set up things. So that's the difference. As an employee, you're paying their FICA and unemployment taxes. You can tell them where to be and when. So you start at 9, you end at 5, or I need you one weekend every quarter, or however that looks. 1099 is, here's your task, you get it done when you can. And then our interns are usually college students. We have a lot of universities, a lot of private, wonderful universities around Nashville. And so we find some really great interns for marketing and real estate and all of that come and just help us out and run signs and write blogs and just do a little bit more of that admin.
Yeah, running signs. Because wait, so you have to put out the signs when you list a house.
Oh my gosh, you have to do everything, Angela. You have to do absolutely everything. Signs, lock boxes, print marketing, social media marketing, video marketing. It's a lot. It's a lot more than people think.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
So let's move on a little bit and go back.
Yeah.
What would you tell your 18-year-old self from everything you learned so far?
Oh, I would tell her, you don't have to make big decisions now. I think it's a disservice that we ask our children at 18 to say, you need to tell me what you need to decide today, what college you're going to, what area you want to live in, what you want to be when you grow up. And nobody knows, because we have our parents, right? Like, our parents chirping in our ear. They want us to be a lawyer or a doctor or a creative or, a truck driver, whatever they want us to be. And I think it just takes time to figure that out. So, everybody I've spoken to in real estate, I would say less than 1% went to school for real estate. Some of them do have parents in real estate, and that's nice because they get to kind of take over the family business. But most of us are PR or marketing, or I do know a couple of physicians that came out of being physicians to do real estate because they just found out that wasn't their passion. So I would say just be patient and just roll with it.
Especially in real estate, insurance, all those things, those happen sometimes later in life. You said you were 30?
Yes, I was 30. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I just thought, this is not what I want to do for the next 30 years or 40 years or however, how can we go from here?
Yeah, I thought about real estate in the back of my brain because I just
Yeah.
love real estate. I just
Yes.
literally love it, but
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, I gotta go show houses."
I know, you do. You do, and you have to deal with people's my favorite part of this job is being I'm so close with a lot of my clients. We don't do online advertising. We don't do random people that call in, honestly, for safety purposes, because I have a team of wonderful females, and we just aren't going to meet somebody at a house if we don't know you. There's been a lot of just crime with that. So, but mostly our clients become our family, that we see them multiple times a year. We call on them. We just had a really big snowstorm that knocked a lot of people out of power. And we were calling everybody to make sure, like, do you have power? Are your pipes burst? Like, what can we do for you? I had agents that didn't have power in their own houses, and they were in their vehicles going to check on our clients' houses. So we just become part of them, right? But in that, you also go through their divorces and their deaths and their parents getting really sick. And so, there's a lot of that too, that we don't just open doors. There's a lot that we carry with people that we're like, okay, we're part of this for the next 6 months. Like, how do we plan? You got laid off 6 months ago and you can no longer afford your mortgage. Okay, let's sit down and game plan, But it's really special too, because you get to see babies come in and marriages. And so it's a really cool position to be in. But definitely I would say opening doors is 1% of our job. So you
Yeah.
might be good at it, Angel.
So being a therapist that
Yes.
actually has an outcome for them with their home and what's going on with their family
Oh,
sometimes.
absolutely. Absolutely. Because it's always so much emotion. It's money. It's usually their biggest asset that they own.
Mhm.
So it's a lot. It's a lot to manage with them.
It is.
Yeah.
All right. So getting to where you are in business, what is something that you think was a game changer? Like maybe it was a decision, a habit, a marketing strategy. What was it, do you think it was?
I would probably pinpoint two big things. One of them is what we already discussed, which was hiring and leveraging people, leveraging your time. Time is the only asset we can't duplicate. So I will pay money because I can duplicate that asset to get more time back and to do more money making activities. The second thing is finding accountability. And I think that happens when you hire, right? Because you can sit here by yourself and say, I'm going to get these things done today. And you can look around at your laundry, or your friend can call and want to go to lunch, or you'd rather hit that workout class. And all of a sudden your 8-hour day is now a 3-hour work day, or you're going to get your hair done, or you know what I mean? Like, there's just so many things that you can do in a day when you are responsible for you. So finding those accountability groups, whether that's, I know, Angel, you have a group of 3 women that you all keep each other accountable. And that's absolutely wonderful. And I have a group of professional women that we keep each other accountable. I love going into the office. I have an office that we go in and we sit in, and I have 8 employees, and we come in and we sit all the time. And we work because that keeps us accountable. So I would say those are the 2 game changers, is treating my day like a work day and not like some entrepreneurs tend to do, which is react instead of plan, and then hiring.
So it's hiring and your mindset, working it around what has to happen for that
Yes.
time period.
Yes.
So talking about mindset and thinking about what entrepreneurs put out into the world, what do you wish they would stop doing and kick it to the curb?
Ooh, I wish that people would release their self-doubt. I think when things get really uncomfortable, the brain is wired to protect you on that. And it says, stop, slow down, right? That's with workouts, that's with business, that's with anything, right? That's what your brain is wired to do. And I think that can hinder us, especially women. There's a statistic that women typically apply for jobs they are overqualified for, and men apply for jobs they are underqualified for. And that is such an interesting statistic, that men just shoot their shot. And women go in very conservative, and we want to plan, and we want, we also juggle a lot more just because of the way that we're wired. But that is one thing I would say is, like, when it gets uncomfortable and you think you can't do it, you absolutely can do it. Batten down the hatches, get your support systems, figure out a new game plan if your current one isn't working, and just push forward.
So just for clarity, women women apply for jobs that are higher than them?
No, they apply statistically, women apply for more jobs that we are overqualified for. Does that make sense?
Oh,
So like, and then men
overqualified.
apply for jobs they are underqualified for.
Oh,
So we
okay.
undervalue and we view our talents as lesser. Even if we are qualified for that SVP position, we might apply for the director position, even though we have the skill sets for SVP. But that man that has the skill set for a director position, he is applying for the SVP position. Like that, and that is a statistic.
Yeah. Oh, that is true. Oh
It
my
is. It
And I
is.
think that goes along with balance. They feel some women think they have to have balance
Yes.
and in the workplace. I
Yes.
call it the dance. What
Okay.
do you call it?
I love that. I love that. The dance is good, Angel. I might start using that. I might start using that. The the work-life balance that doesn't exist, is that what you're referring to?
Mhm.
Yeah. I think that, yeah, there's just, and I think we're changing and every generation is different, right? Like my grandmother, she did have a job, but her first job was being an assistant at the front desk of my grandfather's sales job, right? And then my parents' generation were the first women to work out of the home. And so that was a shift in how people parent and childcare and all of that. And so now I think we're getting to a shift where, I mean, so I love a statistic. If you can't tell, Angel, I love data, but women outperform men in 60% of households, I want to say. Like women make more money than their husbands. And wonderful. That's great. But nobody takes these other tasks off of our plate, like the things that in our brain, and not that our husbands wouldn't, they absolutely would, but it's like who orders the clothes every season, who makes sure the kids have the Valentines for Valentine's Day, and just all the other things that are in our mom brain that we kind of just take care of because it's easier to take care of it than it is to delegate it. But I think when I hear work-life balance, I had we moved a big media company here in 2020, and I was having lunch with one of the CEOs, and he's a male. And I was having just a hard time balancing it all with the dance, right, Angel? And I remember saying to him, like, I'm just struggling with my work-life balance. How do you manage? Because our kids are the same age. He has a spouse, like he manages a lot of things I manage. And I was like, how do you have work-life balance? And he's like, I manage a full C-suite of males. I don't have one single female on that C-suite. And I've never sat at a table and had a male ask me or bring up work-life balance. And I just thought, oh, well, that's kind of misogynistic. And that's very interesting. Like, you're a male. Of course you said that. Y'all don't take care of all this stuff behind the scenes, and you don't think about all these things that women think about. But then I kind of took it, I stepped back and kind of took it another way when I left the lunch. And I was like, okay, maybe we're all looking at this wrong. There is no such thing as work-life balance. And maybe we're making that this like achievable goal for us that isn't achievable. And we're putting this pressure on ourselves to achieve it, right? To be there for the kids, to be everything we can for our employees, to have this revenue, we expect all these things. But it's like last night I came home, my husband got caught at work. I came home and I cooked my kids dinner, and then I sat down at the table while they ate dinner, and I sat down with my laptop, and they were quiet and they ate their dinner, and I cranked out 30 minutes of work. I don't always do that, but there were fires I had to put out in that moment. But most of the time I sit down and have dinner with them, but I didn't feel bad for having my computer out last night. I just thought, this is my today. We're going to pivot. They know I love them. I put them to bed, like there's just so when I hire and somebody says, I want a work-life balance, it's kind of a red flag to me. Cause I'm like, oh, that tells me that you're not managing your expectations and your day and your life and all of that. So I just don't believe in work-life balance, Angel. I think the dance is the perfect way to say that.
That's what I call it, the
It is.
dance.
It is.
Everything you have to sidestep around all the fires, fix them,
Yes.
delegate them. You have to do something.
Yes.
Mhm.
You just have to kind of figure it out, and
Yeah.
every day is different.
Oh, my word, yes. You might wake up at the same time, but I can tell you from there, your life, there's something
Yes.
that's gonna happen.
No day is the same. But
Mm-mm.
that's our high, right? That's that's where we get our fix.
Yeah, that's why we are who we are and entrepreneurs, otherwise we'd work a 9 to 5 job. and that would be it.
Yes. And if you want that stability, that 9 to 5 is for you. And we need those people. I always tell myself, I'm like, we need people that are great,
Yeah.
that
Great
don't live in our chaos, you know?
Yeah, great at what they do, and their talents
Yes.
can be utilized to a
Yes.
way that makes everything function properly.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Absolutely. I love my 9 to 5s.
So wonder if you have a woman that you meet that's standing in the middle of a mess and she's ready to throw in a towel, quit, and give up. What would you tell her?
Ooh, I would tell her to breathe. Breathe and recalibrate. What's the foundation? What's your why? Why do you have this company? Why are you building what you're building? What's your foundation? And is that still your goal? If it's not your goal, that's okay to pivot. If it is still your goal, what's going on with the foundation of it and the walls that we can adjust to make it an easier to get your goal where it wants to go, you know?
I love that why. If we don't keep that why right there,
Yes.
it's just not going we're gonna fall apart.
Yes. Or if your why isn't impactful, right? Like I'll have people come to me, and this is specific to real estate, but I'm sure it's small business as well. And they'll say, I want to start a team. And I'm like, okay, tell me why. And they're like, well, because everybody else at Compass has a team. Compass is a really kind of a luxury firm, a lot of big agents. Well, everybody else has a team. And I'm like, okay, teams are a whole nother company to manage, right? Like when you have a small business, that's the entire other company to manage outside of selling the homes. And they end up falling apart. They end up getting rid of their teams, never being happier because their why wasn't strong enough to be the foundation of the walls that they wanted to build. And just wanting to have a team to be a team and have a group wasn't powerful enough, you know? So it really kind of being why your why is, you know, like personal to you.
Can we take that why one step further?
Yeah.
It's who are you building it for too,
Mhm.
creates that why.
Yes.
I mean, is it your children? Is it your spouse? Is it your
Right.
family? Is it
Right.
because you had a dream for it for years and
Yeah.
years and you just didn't do it? What
Yeah.
is it and who?
Yes, exactly. And because that's the only thing that's going to keep you upright and keep you going. You
Mhm.
know, like when you're the woman that you feel like everything is against you and you do just want to throw in the towel. I feel like that a lot because managing a company is a lot. Like I said, the government regulations, the admin aspect of it. I have 7 people calling me all day long needing things, and that's a lot. But my why is so I can wake up with my children every morning. I can spend my weekends with them and I can spend my nights with them. And so
Yeah,
I do have to have people to do the tasks so that I can do that. And that is my why, you know?
and your who. It's your
Yeah.
children.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
want to be present. And so I do have to have extra bodies
mhm.
and extra people to complete all the work. So, but if it weren't that, then I would have a shaky foundation. I would say, oh, I'm just going to throw it in. It's just going to be me again, you know?
Yep. All right, let's pull back the curtain.
Yeah.
Sneak peek into your future. What are we seeing?
Oh, you and I love this stuff, Angel.
I know.
Um, AI and how AI is going to transform every single industry. I need to download the app HUXE that you were recommending. I think this is such a pivotal year. You lean into AI or you're going to be left behind. And it can transform your business in wonderful ways, or you're going to be doing things the old school way, or you're going to be running after the race car and you're never going to catch up, right? If you don't lean into it this year. So using AI to market homes, to find buyers.
Mhm.
There's new AI out there that buyers are no longer putting in criteria of like 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,800 square feet. They're putting in walkable to coffee and a 5-minute drive to medical centers or something. So you kind of have to use those emotional descriptions in your descriptions because people are now going online and Googling and chat GBTing send me a list of homes that are walkable to local coffee shops and have farmland and can raise cattle. So you have to pull these things out. We're using it a lot to create drone footage before we even have our professional media people out there. We're using it to find buyers. So where are buyers looking. We have AI set up to where we can say, okay, your home is getting views from Austin, Texas, and we're in Nashville, Tennessee, or your views are coming from LA. So how can we morph and change your listing to be more attractive to those buyers out there? So we're really into AI this year and really excited on how it can positively impact our clients and help them sell for more, or help them find the house they're looking for easier.
Great. So I'm going to bring up 3 points here. One, so what you're talking about is when we look online and we're looking at houses and we see it's furnished totally gorgeous.
Yes.
And not like, some people's normal houses.
Right.
And it's a little bit more upscaled than it would probably be for that house. Is
Right.
that AI?
So that is AI. Now you do have to disclose that you've used AI. So we can't put in white cabinets into a brown house and not disclose that we have digitally altered it. That's just part of our MLS rules. But yes, we will change a room to be more visually appealing because people have a hard time visualizing. I don't love to sell a vacant house. Like, I need furniture in it because they sell better. They statistically sell for 16% more, and they sell faster because people can envision where they would put the furniture. They can envision what light fixtures they would put in there. So it does sell for more and higher. But yes, that's how we use a lot of AI to help buyers envision what a home could be instead of what it is.
And let's go back. And so Chat GBT, Gemini, all of them,
Yes.
any of your AI guys, if you put in your website or if you put in listings or something like that, it can come back and tell you what you still need to fix. And I'm sure you've done that too. I love putting it on my website going, okay, how can I fix this and make it better?
Yes. Yes. And I saw, I think my algorithm online is now AI. So I've got all these AI people like coming at me and giving me tips, but you can even train your AI to do exactly what you're talking about. You can say, I want you to be my harshest critic. I want you to be the number one realtor in the country and look at it with a critical eye and tell us how to improve this and what you think the changes could be made. And it'll start to criticize you instead of, I had one of my agents message yesterday and she was like, Chat GPT is being so nice to me. And I was like, great. I love that for you. One, she's the sweetest agent I've ever met. She's the nicest human, but she was like, it tells me I'm doing a good job. And I'm like, I love that. And you need that. But I don't need that. I don't need someone to tell me I'm doing a good job. I need you to be harsh and critical. And so you can tell AI and you can tell Gemini, be my harshest critic. Be my mentor and give me bad feet, give me like hard advice that is good advice,
Yeah, I tell mine be a diva and be blunt.
I love that. I love that. Well, I think they say by saying please and thank you, we waste all of this energy, right? Yeah. So I think us Southern girls, like, please put together a list, and they're like, that's costing us all this energy that we're having to create. Please stop using please and thank you. It's like, okay, if that's what you want,
She's like, that's my jam.
Yes.
So at 2:30 this morning, I received a text from a friend saying, I have like all these AIs combined into one thing. And I'm like, so I'm going to look further into it and I'll let you know about it. But I was like, okay, all of them combined in for this small, low price. I'm like, okay. So
oh, interesting.
that was at
Okay.
2:30 this morning. So as soon as I find out, I'll let you know.
Okay.
I was like,
Interesting. Well, and we had our website company last week come and we're going to have him come back and just basically create custom GBTs for us. So these repeatable tasks that we do, these follow-up emails and these contracts and all of this that we do that is repeatable, we're going to get custom GBTs made. Like, we send follow-up emails every Tuesday to our sellers. Like, what's their feedback this week? What have our showings been? What's our marketing? What's the market doing? If we can plug that into a GBT, it can spit that out for us. And minutes instead of us taking 30 minutes to an hour for every email. So you can also do custom GBTs where you sit down and you say, what are my repeatable tasks and what are my headaches? And you have to pay somebody to do it, right? Unless you're smart enough to do it yourself, which I am not. I stay in my lane on that. Angel, I think you could lean into that. You're smart like that. So I think you could do that, but that's our next step, is just sitting down with custom GBTs and getting things off of our list,
Okay, so number one, if you are trying to figure out if you want to be an entrepreneur and you don't want to go to real estate, you can actually do custom GBT for people that make a lot of money.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we're about to pay someone, I'm sure, a lot of money to do it. So, because I got to go into real estate. I got to let them do their thing. Yes. Yeah. The technology piece of it is so interesting.
Okay. On a funner side here, and tell me something unexpected about you that my audience would go, really?
Oh, something unexpected. I am, and maybe this is the competitor in me, but I am very big into like fitness competitions and fitness and like the CrossFit-ish kind of realm. I just did a fitness competition last weekend in Franklin, and we just signed up yesterday for the new High Rocks competition. It's like a big thing right now in New York. So I love to like lift heavy weights and takes the stress off, But
I keep saying I'm a lift weights. That don't happen. I'm really more of a dancer, obviously, from the dance reference.
Yes. Yes. Everybody's if you're just moving, Angel, that's all you need to do.
Yeah, that's it. So is it like Iron Man or what is it? Like, what's going on there?
Kind of. There's always like 4 or 5 hard competitions. You know what they are, so you know how to train for them. But it is, like bench pressing and running and rowing and biking and, so it's no swimming like Ironman, because I can't swim very well. That's probably something nobody would know about me, but I don't go into the ocean. I very rarely go into a pool. So I'll leave the Ironman to the people that can swim. But yes, it's very much like you train and you have that goal, and it's just really fun. And it's fun to support people in it. And it's just a different kind of portion of my life and piece of my life that's not real estate related,
And we need that. We need to have that opposite, the simple reason that when we go, we need to be rejuvenated. And if that's what rejuvenates you, go for it.
And nobody expects anything of you. Do you know what I mean? Like in that 1 hour, nobody expects anything from me. They're not asking me questions. I don't answer phone calls. Like they just don't need me, and that's just important too.
Do you work out with friends?
They're my friends now. They're like my gym friends because we all go at the same time every single day, and they've become a really sweet part of my life.
Oh wow. That's amazing. All right, music. Give me a song or songs that you love.
Ooh, so I have a small kid. So I have a 3 and 5-year-old. And so I'm really conscious of what we listen to. So we are big into like the praise and worship. I know we live in the Bible Belt, so I'm sure that won't shock a lot of people. But we're loving like Forrest Frank, Lauren Daigle, Forrest Frank, Lemonade, Life is Good. That gets my kids hyped for school in the morning for preschool. And then Lauren Daigle is just an easy, like, let it be a hallelujah. Yesterday I had kind of a couple like missteps. I was like, I'm just going to turn on Lauren Daigle on the way to my next appointment, and we're going to live it up, and then we're going to walk in and everything's fresh, So
I love Lauren Daigle. So I'm going to listen to the Lemonade one now.
Yes. Oh, they love that one. The kids love Forrest Frank. Yes.
All right. What about books? Do you have any books you love that build you up?
Books. So there's a couple of books. There's Who Not Why or Who Not How. And that one is about hiring. So if you're nervous to hire or you're like looking to expand or delegate, that one's good to say, not instead of like, how am I going to do this task, but who do I hire to do that, or who, contract or anybody like that. And then last week I had my entire company read The Energy Bus. And The Energy Bus is good. It's an easy read. It's a short read. It's a short audiobook, but it's basically like we are responsible for our own attitude. We're responsible for our own day. And the world is how you see it, right? And how you react to it. So if you think your life is horrible, it's going to be horrible. But if you think your life, that there are ways to improve, then there are ways to improve. And so in The Energy Bus, they talk about like giving people tickets to your bus. And one, you have to be willing to give somebody a ticket So you have to be willing to say like, okay, you have the right energy to be on my bus, and you're willing to follow our processes and our procedures, and you're willing to step up when I need you to, and all of that. But also it's like in the book, he presents somebody with a ticket to get on his bus, and they're like, you're not the leader I want to be on your bus. And so that, looking introvertedly, because I love to look in the mirror, being the leader that people want to accept that ticket to get on your bus. So it was just an easy, quick, you know what? It's all how you see it,
Yeah. The energy bus. Okay. Yeah. It's on. I am like getting that book. That's going to be a
Yes.
really good book.
It's such a good read.
I'm all about energy
Yes.
and how it maneuvers through our
Yeah.
life. And we're all energy. Period.
Yes, we are. Well, and I really think it's like, good things happen when you feel like good things are happening. And that's a really like broad, loose, empty kind of statement. But bad things happen when you think bad things are happening. Right. And so it's like, okay, everything is great. Everything's going good. Like I can shift this into being a good thing, not a bad thing. And, business picks up and contracts pick up and buyers pick up. And, but if you look at things like in a down way, they're going to be down, and I think people can feel your energy and they either want to be around that or they don't. And it really does impact your company.
So I usually don't tell anybody what my favorite book is, but I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to tell you why.
Tell me.
Ready? It's Success Motivation by Charles Capps. It's a
Okay, let me
much
write it down.
older book.
Okay. Success Motivation.
I don't know the page.
Okay.
However, so first off, it is the way it made me start believing positively with biblical aspects attached to it.
Nice.
Okay. There is a page in there that is to real estate.
Oh.
That actually talks about how to speak to your house and do a Jericho march.
Oh.
Around the house and actually speak to it and tell the house what you want it to do, because it is yours.
Okay.
It has to be everybody who's on the mortgage that has to speak to the house.
Okay. Interesting.
And so I had an uncle and an aunt, and I'm like, they were having trouble selling this house they had. And I went in, they had tons of people coming in, and I told them, I'm like, well, I'll do this and tell you about this, but you have to both be open.
Yeah.
And you both have to do it.
Okay. So what happened?
The house sold. The first people that walked in an hour later,
Angel.
the house sold.
Okay.
And it has happened time after time after time.
Nice.
When people are having trouble selling a house.
Nice. I love that. We usually, we will bury St. Joseph because he's like the saint of the house. So we'll bury him in the front yard, but I'm going to download the PDF of that book, upload it to ChatGPT, and I'm going to tell it to pick out the portion to real estate. And it's going to tell me the page and give me what it is. But it is true. My clients will call and they'll be so stressed out. I had a client last year and they, high-powered executive. She is on her game and he is too. And they were like, we want everything that you're doing to market this house. And we went and laid out in an email. And I was like, okay, this is a little above and beyond. I am marketing and I am doing this, but let me go above and beyond to kind of put you at ease. And they weren't getting many showings because it was at a higher price point in a different area of town. And once they let go, buyers came. And we got 2 offers. And I really think it's the energy of the home that when people walk through the door, they can tell the energy, and it either makes them want to live in that home or it makes them want to leave that home. And I truly, truly believe that.
Yeah,
truly.
It is.
So I'm going to do this Jericho march. I'm going to look into this because I truly do. When clients are like, we trust you, like you'll get it sold, and they're not stressed about it, it gets a buyer. When they're like stressed to the max and they're calling me every day, and it takes longer and longer and longer. And I'm like, I think it's the energy you're putting into the world,
Yeah.
And then I'm insane and, flippant about selling their house, but I'm not. It's just true.
Yeah, it is, because it's their energy. Because if they're holding on to that house isn't going anywhere.
You're so right. The Jericho March. Okay, I'm looking it up.
Yeah, so that's a biblical thing, is the Jericho March. It's the verbiage too of saying it, because they couldn't physically go around theirs the whole entire way. So I mean, they just sat there and said it. But I mean, the Jericho March is like one step.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Okay. I'm going to read about that. We have
So I'm
three
just, yeah.
multiple homes to go do the Jericho March in. Great. Love it.
All right. Words to live by or a quote.
Yes. I got your questions and I was so grateful that you asked this one. Um, my favorite quote is things don't change if things don't change. And I think that that is so applicable to every aspect of our lives, whether it's personal relationships, the way we treat ourselves or view ourselves with our company, you're ever evolving. There's a lady, Brene Brown. Do you listen to Brene Brown? I
Yep.
love Brene Brown.
Love her.
She is always just giving us like a calm energy, right? But she says things don't change if things don't change. And I think as a leader, that is impactful too, because your job is also to grow your staff and your people in your company. And there are, I think, are always going to be people that don't want to change and they don't want to move with you and they want to move against you, or they want to stay here. And that's okay. There are tons of positions in companies for people like that, but you can't do the same repeatable tasks and live your life the same repeatable way and expect things to change. So things don't change if you don't change.
And we were just talking about that with energy too.
Yes. Yes.
So it all links.
It does.
It all links. I love that one. All right. Superpower, 24 hours. What would it be?
Yes. To see into the future, Angel. Give me just a glimpse into the crystal ball of real estate so I can come back, know where to tell everybody to put their money, and then we can all move to Bali. That would be my gift. Because you just don't know, right? People are like, well, what if we list next year? Will we make more money? And I always joke and I'm like, oh, let me go check my crystal ball. And they laugh and I laugh and we move on and we talk more realistic, because it's like you can't see into the future, you know?
So if you believe in motivation, what would be something you do for motivation on demand, or you don't believe in it?
Oh, tell me, do you believe in motivation? You're asking that question for a reason.
Yes, I do. But mine is to music. So if I'm
Okay.
like a little bit like,
Okay.
I throw on music
Okay.
and I just get pumped up a little
Okay.
bit and then I'm good. I'm
I
good.
love that. I love that. I would have thought by the way you phrased that question that you don't believe in motivation.
I just have so many people who don't.
Yeah. Yeah. I probably lean that I don't believe in motivation, because if we all waited until we were motivated to do something, I think we would never do it. And so I probably lean more like I just have my list and I make it every night for the next day. And you have to crank through it.
Yes.
So I more believe in the energy that you and I are talking about and the positive outlook of stuff than I probably do the motivation piece of it.
Yep. I mean, my favorite book, Success Motivation. So I have to,
Yeah,
so I do lean that way a little bit.
that's true. That's true. I'll read it and maybe I'll change my answer the next time around.
Yeah, no, I love the fact when I get somebody on here and they ask me a question, I'll say it and they're like, and I love that because I want people to understand that we are all different and we come from different backgrounds and everything. And, as successful as you are, the mindsets are almost the same
Right.
but we have different belief systems, which works perfect.
And how we get there, right? Like some people just crank it in and do it and it's painful. And some people put music on and grab a mocktail, or you know what I mean? And so we all get there just in different paths.
Definitely.
Yes.
All right. What is the best way for our audience to stay connected with you?
We are very active on social media and all of our social media platforms are the same. So YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, it's all the Jernigan Group at Compass, and that's Jernigan with a J. We also have a really great website for neighborhoods and buyers and sellers and how to get in touch with us, thejernigangroup.com. But we are very active on social media as well. That's kind of our platform.
All right. A mic drop to leave us with, if you don't mind, of something maybe we didn't talk about or you want to make sure we understand.
Oh, goodness, a mic drop moment. I would say that to the energy point, that things will go how you want them to go. And it's all about how you see it and all about who you surround yourself with. So if things feel like they're going really hard, reevaluate who's around you and don't be afraid to make a change.
Oh, you just so many mic drop moments. However, that one, guys, I mean, and you can marry this with me and make sure I'm saying it right. The 5 people you spend the most time with is who
Yes.
you're going to be in the next 5 years.
Yes. Yes. So remember that. It's like those. And have you seen those? Have you seen those pictures of fruit? And there's several pieces of fruit next to each other, and one of them is rotten, and then the next one has a little bit of a rotten spot, and then the next one has a little bit of a lesser rotten spot. But I think it just, to your point, if you touch rotten, you become rotten. So the only way to break that is to take your fruit away from the rotten fruit, even if it's just by an inch. So. That's such a good point.
And I love that. You brought up the point. You're amazing. Thank you, Megan, for being on here.
Thanks for having me. You are wonderful.
Bye.
Bye. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Female Entrepreneurs Magazine. I hope you found inspiration, actionable tips, and a sense of connection with our incredible community of driven women. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and share the episode with fellow entrepreneurs who are ready to elevate their game. Remember, your success is just the beginning, and we're here to support you in every step of the way. Until next time, keep shining, keep thriving, and remember, you have the power to create the business and life of your dreams. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.